Hello and welcome. We are back at it and we are going to be making another display, fingers crossed, today. Now, the plan of attack is, as Pumpkin is right underneath this chair, sort out the space section, which is now going to be like a hybrid with Star Wars, because we literally have run out of room of where to put the different bits and pieces. And this is the little fluff ball that is stood right underneath my feet as we start to go. So underneath all of the bits and pieces that we've done so far is where the Star Wars lives. Now, I've been bouncing ideas around Mr. J's Toy Collection UK, and we have come up with a rough template, which I think we can then sort of crack on and go from on there. So we have got some idea with regards to what we can do with the Harry Potter tracks, what we could do with the Starship Enterprise, and of course what we might be able to do with some of the UCS sets as well. In previous uploads, we have managed to move, well, all of this is starting to look neat and tidy. We've got ideas for the Pokemon section. We've got ideas that we need to change colors of base place, or where the space was going to go. Where is that kind of thing going to go? But first off, I will say hello to everybody in the chat. So DGI, hello to you. Oddly, hello to you. Jay, Mark, and of course, Ultra Bricks, hello to you 5 so far. Just put a random thing up in the poll. We're already 6 votes in after 1 minute, so that's not too bad. So best looking type of set: card, train, building, spaceship. That's it. Simple as that. What do you think? What do you think? There could have been loads of options, couldn't there? But just pick those 4. Be interesting to see, because at the moment it's already 50-50. So that doesn't take long. Everybody that's liked the video so far in the first minute and 40 seconds, thank you very much indeed as well. Because it obviously helps with the algorithm, doesn't it? So Jay, fresh morning ideas from the toilet this morning, and he will be lurking in the background as we carry on doing these bits and pieces. Mark said, I'm enjoying the Ninjago set got yesterday, which is good. Oddly says, hey, Matt, the Crookshanks from Harry Potter. Oddly says, hello. And Ultra Bricks is passing time on a train. So with regards to the display behind me, remember, we are now in the process of making hidden displays. Where are we there? So we've got all of these bits and pieces going in. We've got all of those bits and pieces going around. This is all of your designs of stuff. Obviously, these 2 aren't living there. That's just where they've been placed for space. nor Santa either, because that was being used as a space section up until yesterday, when all of a sudden, well, it changed very, very, very quickly. With buildings like Rivendell, Barrendor, it's hard not to say buildings. Well, this is it. Sean, you've got to click something. You've got to click something, haven't you? It's tough because there's some beautiful trains, there's some beautiful cars. You know, it's one of those. You can think of the UCS Batmobiles, and yeah, it's just a weird and wonderful one. And it's only because you said you were killing time on a train. I thought, I wonder, why don't we talk about vehicles this evening? So let's catch up with everybody. Mark says hi, Jay. Greetings all from Sean. Okay, Matt, since we last talked, I got 3 European polybags coming Legacy Garmadon, nice. Just Digiloid, Detective Zane, and a Purple Island Warrior from Ninjago. You can't go wrong with that. That is a very, very strong haul that you managed to pick yourself up from last week. So congratulations for that. So we are going to start off with, I'm not too sure which way to start off with. I think we're just going to tuck straight into the new space section, which is basically working out how many base plates there are. We need to figure out what color base plates we're going to be putting down as well. And just placing some different bits and pieces, and also pulling out other sets that aren't going to work. They're going to go over with the Beauty and the Beast castle over on that side, and then I will start to break some of these down, put them back in the box, and then start to sell the different bits and pieces. So yeah, there's all sorts of different bits and pieces that we're going to be doing. We'll kick things off just for the next sort of 2 hours or so. Then maybe at 8 o'clock we'll go live again, but we'll see. So I saw the Ronin fig leaked from the CMF. Oh yeah, it was on the list ages ago, wasn't it, for Lloyd? But I thought it was going to be like a Legends wave where it was the classic stuff from each one, but it wasn't. So yeah, it's been around for months and months from CMF. So yeah, I haven't seen it, but it'd be interesting to see what that actually is going to be. But we're down here is where we're going to be starting. So all down here is our next port of call. So in this pile of stuff, I've got all the flat pack boxes that I need to move first. Then we've got the UCS Venator, which we need to figure out exactly where that is actually going to live. Then we've got to get the 2 Harry Potter tracks in, and then basically crack on and go from there. So off we go and get on with it, because I think that is the best plan of attack. And then obviously we have got all different bits and pieces, because we've got the Mario stuff, obviously, that I've got just over on my left-hand side now, which is obviously being built up and it's looking neat and tidy. Yeah, so we get the paper Ninjago magazine. So yeah, you don't get them at all over your way, because the new minifigure that I got in the magazine this morning was one of the Forbidden Five, and what an amazing print minifigure that was as well. So this thing here, absolutely nuts. So looks amazing on the front. She's a fantastic character. All the bits and pieces are on the back, arm print on one side as well. So yeah, that came with the magazine. Of course, it does come with the big old hat as well. So yeah, amazing minifigure, that one. So yeah, amazing character. So Kerr, yeah, I do believe is her name, and is one of the Forbidden Five. Now, I still have the space box up here from yesterday, because I've literally just ran back up here and started. So space today is even tighter than normal. We're trying to move these bits and pieces, because we might be trying to tuck back in to the roller coaster at some point, so I can actually try and figure out obviously what's missing. But we'll just do what we can do. Like, for example, that is sealed. Well, it's sealed bags, but the bag's blown itself open. But they're all it's all mint on the inside, look. So there. Do I do anything with the boba? That's one thing that I need to figure out. Am I going to use? We have got the Ninjago boxes underneath here, which now are all finished with. I've done all the comparison and the reviews I'm going to do with those, so they can now go down with the Mario, and that will be absolutely fine. So all of those can go out the way. And yeah, we are really lucky, really very lucky with regards to what we do get over this way. So and they're not expensive either. They're not expensive at all, because you get a full magazine plus a minifigure. Sometimes you get 4 figures for £5. So yeah, it's just lucky dip really of what you get when you get it and how you get it. So I'm not complaining. But yeah, the joys of all of it, eh? The joys of everything. So let's get some space made, and we will then just carry on. Right, so down here we have, like I said, we've got the Venator, we've got the UCS Balls, we've got the sail barge, the cantina, stuff, and other stuff. So yeah, there's just stuff on stuff basically. So yeah, you just need to get it all gone. Yeah, I think so. I think I've got some more. I've bulked up a little bit since yesterday. I can't believe that table beat me up so badly. So I could. I don't know whether to just hit it with a hammer or whatever. But I did crack my head on it yesterday. Smacked my elbow on it yesterday, and yeah, it's still together. Oh, it's more than 1-0. Jeez, I got battered. Jay said, if you're not going to use boba, I could use. You have an idea? Well, do tell me what your idea is. So tell me. So we can put all the tan underneath, obviously, the sail barge and stuff, but we've got to count the base plates. We know how this works now, so it's fine. Put the base plates down, count the base plates, work out where the biggest things can go, and then just go from there. This I have got a lot of height with, so that's okay, he says. So it's 4-0. Yeah, it's 4-0. It's bad. It is bad. It didn't go too well. Let's be honest about life. I did get absolutely pummeled. Where's the other one? There it is. So yeah, that's you can see the space. That's if I actually get out of the way, you can see the space just there. There's a lot of space underneath this table. It's just getting everything here together. Reese, good evening to you. Yes, all good, Tessa. Thank you, Reese. We are just putting up a fight, and I'm on hands and knees again, sorting out all of this. Pumpkin is fast asleep just underneath here. So she's already made herself at home look. So luckily she's not going to be in the way today. So there she, she is, just on the suitcase, just like ignore me. So yeah, she's happy, which is good. But yeah, we have got, because these are the tins you get with the magazines. So yeah, these tins are really good. So these are the 2-pack tins that you can pick up. So I've started to actually collect these tins. And there's another one from the Forbidden Five. So I've actually got two. I've got 2 Forbidden Five characters from the tins, which is pretty cool. So, but the nice thing is you got all the artwork on the one side, and then you got all the artwork on the other as well. So yeah, I want to see if I want to figure out what I can actually do with these, because I've got quite a few of them now. And I think they look quite smart, but we'll see. Jay says, I need 4 Billy shelf clips. Question is, what on earth are they? You're asking me, Jay, and I can't figure out where the minifigures are in here. So I haven't got a clue. Yeah, no, I want to know what your idea is. What's your idea for your own display? Yeah, all good this end. Reese, Sean asks, have you purchased the hotel yet, Reese? Not yet, Sean. My jazz. Oh, how are you getting on with it? How do you? Yeah, I wonder why you recognise that tin. Yeah, see, I kept the tins. That was a beautiful Christmas present. Thank you very much indeed, Ryan. So where are we? Oh no! So it makes you want to order the hotel even more. Well, it looks good. It's one of those things that you could should do. Could put up a fight and see what's it all about. I am lost with what that's supposed to be. Find a sticker sheet from Ninjago. Oh, it must be the replacement sticker sheet, and there's only 1 or 2 because they sent me all the stickers down for something. So brilliant. But yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff going on. But yeah, good evening and afternoon to everybody. I am just going to be making some room, and then we'll go from there. Oh, well, you don't have to come to the UK. It's just anywhere in Europe, because they get distributed all around Europe. So you could go somewhere warmer if you wanted to. But yeah, you got some amazing tin. I've got, I don't know, maybe close to 10 tins now. And I do obviously pick up these mini figures. So that is good. Jay's fighting a clip. Right, so I might as well keep these to one side, because that's a bag of just random Star Wars characters. So they can be kept and maybe placed later, which is great. I have a He-Man castle, which every time I'm like, I just don't know where to put it. We're going to move the Rivendell, aren't we? So it could go in with the Rivendell display, because it could go beside D&D, I think. I just don't know. I don't know where else it can actually live. So that can get put up on this table safe and sound for now, and then we can work that out later. So that's okay. No, we are starting to break the back of it all, which is great. So yeah, it's just making sure we have all the stuff that is needed and necessary. So there's another tin. That's the older Legacy line that came with Pixel. So you got 2. You have. Well, I said, do you want a third? And you told me to go screw myself. So I was like, all right. Well, Jay doesn't want a third one, which I thought was very rude. So you were offered it. Yeah, you were offered it. Jay's like, nah. Right. So with regards to the poll, we're 11 votes in already. 73% for buildings at the moment, and then we've got 27% for trains. So nobody's gone for spaceships, nobody's gone for cars, which means nobody gives a toss about Star Wars, which is fair enough. Ooh, motorized risers. Well, I haven't got that much space underneath the back of the shelf, but other bits and pieces there may be a possibility. So we'll cross that bridge and see exactly what's gonna be happening. But I'm just getting to this stuff because yeah, this wasn't planned. Well, no, actually, it wasn't because we were doing it differently. It was all going to go. This wasn't really going to get touched, to be honest. And then yeah, it's all got moved about 400 times. But this is the He-Man Castle, which looks, I think, rather smart. That needs to go away, so I'll just do that. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's a Mattel product, which isn't too bad. However, and Jay knows this story, and I think I've told this story a couple of times now. The Snake Mountain that turned up, every single bag with the minifigures in were missing. So I couldn't build Snake Mountain because it wasn't the minifigures weren't missing; it was the whole bag with the minifigures. So I was missing like 7 bags. Yeah, that's it. Well, I've got Star Wars stuff here, but I've got no intention of getting any of the smaller bits. We've just got all these base plates to play with, like this, for example. What a beautiful set this is! This has been placed multiple places before, and I've just got to figure out if I can get. Because I think what I'm going to do actually, this is going to go in with my Ninjago temples, and it's obviously going to feed the water. So I'm going to have the 2 temples. This will just go against the back wall, which is basically where that light is, and then I'm going to have it all on blue base plates. So this is the Monkey Kid waterfall, where you have the extension pieces on the one side and the other. But even with this one, which looks a little bit meaty, they build it up with like all the Technic bit at the back, and then you put the pins in. As you can see, you've got the extension pins and clips either side. So yeah, this was a really very, very nice set. So this is going in with my Ninjago bit straight away, so that I know where that's going, so that's absolutely fine. We were talking yesterday about Ferris wheels. I'm just putting more space characters they can go in there. Yeah, we're talking about Ferris wheels and all that kind of thing yesterday. God, I've got loads of those characters, and there's the owl wolf Jobby from D&D, so that can go up on top. But don't forget, all of this at the top is now going to have to move as well, so that's absolutely fine. But yeah, this is going in with Ninjago, so that's not a problem at all. So at the moment, He-Man Castle, I have no idea about. The Monkey Kid is going in the big Ninjago temple display, so that's absolutely fine. Grayskull from Game, half the minifigures accessories. Yeah, there we go. So half the minifigures and accessories were missing. I bought the full set of figures from AliExpress, like £7. That included the Snake Mountain and the others. Yes. So Jay can vouch for me for this. So got the actual massive Snake Mountain. Looks amazing, though, obviously the one in purple. And every single bag was missing that had a minifigure in it. I was like, oh, God. It wouldn't even bother me if somebody had just stolen the minifigures, but they just pulled the bags out. It's like, oh, why? Because I was going to use Snake Mountain as a slide in the theme park. There is something going on. Yes, there's a little cat in there. Look, yeah, Pumpkin is there, so you can see her giving herself a clean before she falls asleep. Jay can't find his shelf clips. Splendid. I have a Ferris wheel, by the way, which I have said about 300 times, and we still haven't got this Ferris wheel placed. Does it work? No. Yes, it does. Look at that. It just needs to add in the seats because it is 1 bag away from completion. But this was going to be my under construction thing. So I built it, left the seats off on purpose, and made a diagram. Good grief. Display. What am I on about? Made a display around it with all of the construction sets. And it's just never taken shape. Good evening, Killian. You have turned up on the right time, sir. This is Star Trek and Star Wars this evening. So recap for everybody that's in the background. Hello and welcome. Thank you very much. That's like the video so far. So that's where we're at with the stuff. Let me get this cable up. So yeah, that's what we've done. That's where we're going. I've just plonked those there for now because obviously this middle section is Pokemon, so we're not putting anything there. Then of course it carries round on that side. We've got the whole L of Ninjago on that corner, and then we've got all of these bits and pieces up on top. So we're doing all right. We're getting it all in. The displays are starting to take shape, which is good, but I just need to get these Harry Potter coaster stands in, and obviously I've got 2 of them, haven't I? So, oh, it's all changed, Killian. You miss 5 minutes and it all changes. So apparently the Enterprise isn't going to go on the roof anymore because it's not going to fit with regards to the space section, because the space section itself wasn't big enough with the 6 base plates. So me going on about Grey, saying that I didn't think it was going to be big enough, yada, 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 yada. And then, well, all hell broke loose with Pokemon. And now it's going to be a Pokemon thing because it's a Pokemon theme park, which I've been telling everybody about. Then we did a deep dive of Pokemon and had a look in Japan of all the stuff that they've got. And now on my hands and knees moving the Star Wars stuff. Ooh, 3D printing all weekend. What have you managed to do? All right, that is Benny's spaceship from the Lego movie. So that can go straight back into storage because that will not fit down in here. So that can go away. That can go away. DJI, Matt, where we are. Up there we are. There it is. So I've been thinking that hang on. I've been thinking that the redesigned was important for Ninjago. The bad part is they came from a movie that is separate from the show. Nothing changes. They go quite stale. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously they redesigned the figures every single year, didn't they? And then they did the Spinjitzu series for 13 years. And then obviously we're now on year 3 of Rising Dragons. Yeah, so apparently massive things happened. We got Matt waiting for, well, I don't know. I haven't seen Starfleet. What's it on? What's it available to be watched on? Because isn't Paramount taking everything back, or am I missing that? Right, I'll catch up with the chat in a second. Let me just pull some more of these bits and pieces out. It's not too bad under here, though. It's just a lot of Star Wars ships all piled on top of each other. So, he says it's not too bad under here. It's disgusting underneath here. Can't lie about that. It is awful. Right, so Star Wars. Whoop, we go. Noah, good afternoon to you. So that's the stuff. There's the goods. There's the gains. That is all Star Wars. Talk to me. What's happening? How do I start? And there is the fluff. There she is, look. And eventually there's going to be space underneath all these tables as well. So there's plans. But yes, so obviously the Venator will have to go where it is. If it's going to get angled on a stand, that's absolutely fine. But are we having engines at this end or engines the other end? Or do we put it smack in the middle? Yada, 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 yada. So that's what we are trying to achieve today. Also, coloured base plates. What base plates are we putting down? I have been looking for this for ages. This is Dom's Fast and the Furious Charger, which I do believe we're having a conversation about the other day with it being so expensive. I was like, yeah, I know I've got it, because I would like to have this with the other Fast and the Furious cars about to have as a reference to the franchise, because of course the roller coaster is happening again at Universal. So there might just be a little bit of an Easter egg dotted around somewhere. I want to publish a Lego set to Lego. You can give it a go. Of course you can. You can give it a go. There's also Bricklink. You can do it to now as well. So yeah, there's no harm in trying that, Noah. No harm in trying that at all. Right, I am going to have to get balls on balls on stand to start in the right-hand corner. Well, luckily the stand is already there. And the balls is already there. It just depends on the wingspan of the balls. That is the problem, because the wingspan of the balls is absolutely outrageous. Now, I will just make some space, and then I will bring you down to my level so you'll be able to see those bits and pieces that are going on. But I've got to pull a lot of bits out, I think. So we need, again, Ferris wheel need to home. That could go within Ninjago, actually, I think. Maybe that go in front of the coaster, red coaster. That wouldn't hurt. Right, so We have got X-Wing. We have got N1. This thing's massive, Jay. I was telling you how big this thing was. So you want the UCS version of this? This thing's enormous. So that's 2 of them. Then we've got the absolutely battered Walker. So that can probably just get thrown away. That'll just get used for parts. I don't think that's going to survive this purge. We have then got the Ghost, which is a cool looking ship. So we've got this thing. The 4. So the actual track as it stands at the moment at the back. Now I put it there on purpose to save space. Now if I bring it in, which I can do, I will lose 2 base plates of space. So it's just, I just don't know if the wingspan is going to be okay. That is the problem. I just don't know if the wingspan is going to work or not. What figures are in here? All sorts in there. All sorts of stuff. Never bad. Right, balls up on. Base plate colours, everybody. Oh, no, he's eating chicken. Having a bit of chicken. You can't go wrong with that. Right, that's a flap from the back of the balls, so that's okay. That is all of the different bags that are now needing to be recycled, so that's okay. That is one of the Ninjago magazines, so that can be recycled now as well. Okay, I've got bags and bags and bags of minifigures absolutely everywhere. Because every time we did what we do the other day, like when we moved the Marvel stuff, I just ended up putting all of that in a bag, and the bag just gets mixed up. So this isn't the first time I've had to do all of this, but the Star Wars characters are at least still in the right place. Now we have obviously got, as it stands, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 base plates of sand down at the moment. So it's just what base plates do we add? And don't forget, this cheese is really very, 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 very long. Like very long. So what color base plate is the balls going on? Because once it's on, I'm not going to be able to reach to get it back off again in a hurry. So is that going on a tan base plate or just a grey? I don't know. We don't know. I'm going to move you in a second so you can see. And then we're going to move everything and hope for the best. So Killian, he says, has doing an X-Shot blaster into a Halo on something I have no idea. My eldest son's doing exams right now, so I'm hoping to surprise him. He's, wow, fingers crossed everything goes all right with that. Oh, you want to publish something on the Lego website, on the Lego Ideas, and it's a model car? Oh, that'll be all right, Noah. Just give it a go. Give it a go. It's all you can do, isn't it? You can only try. You can only try. Because that's all I ever do. I just try to test everybody's patience. Everybody's liked the video so far, guys. Thank you very much. And I can see the poll, the buildings are starting to take the lead quite easy. No surprise, is it? No surprise with that at all. Right, you are coming around here. I think. Can I get you? So, no. I'm going to drop you, did I? All right, can I get you safe and sound there? I think I can. And then can I? The S. Deep diving underneath the table. We are now. There we go. Look at that for an angle. Right, so just check this. 46. So what we're doing, grey down here, and then Tatooine up top. So sand on the shelf, grey down at the bottom. That is up for discussion. If nobody else says anything, then it will be Jay's decision, and then there'll be arguments. But that is the first base plate. This base plate will be going on the roller coaster then. So we have got 2 Harry Potter tracks. There, that what I've just thrown over there is one of them. So that is the base plate for that. But there is absolutely no way that the balls is going to fit as it is. So that's going to have to come. That's going to have to come in front. Then I'm going to have to grab the next thing and then basically hope for the best. I obviously don't want to be breaking these any more than what they need to be broken because, well, they're a pain in the ass, aren't they? Let's be quite frank about stuff. They're not the easiest thing to do. Like Boba Fett's throne room, which looks clean. So I need to get the stand where the balls is currently, I think. So the balls is going to have to move, and it's very difficult to move because, again, this thing is really very, look at the size of that. It is monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. So I either have it, I'm going to have it side on, aren't I? That's all right, Killian, don't you worry. Well, we could mix and match grey and black if need be, just to mix it up a little bit, rather than just being like a solid grey slob. But if we're going to do that, then obviously all of these base plates are going to have to come up, aren't they? And funny, because again, we're changing the colour. And what I started to do? I started to tile all of the paths in for all of these base plates. And that's now going to be videos you are never, ever going to see. There's a park bench for the Loop roller coaster, so that'll be helpful. That can be added up. Right. That's how I knocked off. That is also handy. All right, so we're going to go grey on this section, which is fine. So we'll go grey down on here. It could be tipped, maybe, Jay. Yes, it might be tipped, but will the Venator just lean against the back wall without a stand if on base plates? Yeah, we could kind of like tip it over. I guess we could try, but in case people are wondering, so this I've got 2 of these, okay? So I've 2 of those, and what we're suggesting is that's going to have to go there. But you can see what my problem's going to be. The wing is going to be about the same height as the shelf. So this is where an issue might unfold. Yeah, there'd be an issue might unfold on here. Unless I put it side on. If I put it side on, it might fit. But again, this thing is unbelievably huge. Oh. So it could go potentially like that. But there's potential. It does need a bit of wiggling. And this bit can be pushed. How far back can I get this? If I get you level, I get you back. So it's not on its proper stand, obviously. Now, if I moved the cantina, it would be a lot safer, to be honest. So we might have to do a bit of a switcheroo with the cantina up top, because the cantina is overhanging that shelf too much, and I don't think it will work. So if we'll have to put something else. I can move the sail barge back and maybe put the cantina in front. So that is the cantina safe as ours is. Then what we want is this pushed back there, and then we want the actual whole thing picked up and shunted back. I get this little back willy. Oh, there we go, this little gun. Because don't forget, it's got balls on the back of this thing as well as the front. That now is in the middle. Right, there you go. So that is realistically as far back as that thing can go. Does that look all right there? Not in that position, Jay, because it's right beside the double table leg. Because we don't forget, I've spun the tables around the other way, haven't I? So I can't. That way's fine. If you want it forward facing, obviously we can't then see on the inside, but the actual wing, there's a double leg there, and it would hit it. But it fits. It does fit there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more black, because obviously I haven't got that many black base plates. Because you'd have to put something bright on it, because obviously a lot of these ships are grey. So I can do like 4 grey, then do an outer edge of black or something. But does that visually look all right on the camera? Yeah. Do we think that's okay? Does that work? Okay, it does. I am just looking at my base plates. I've got a couple of blacks I can put down. Obviously I've got the greys that can be used as well. We've just put a load of black base plates down underneath the eyeball and the other thing as well, haven't we? So there's one. That's another one. Oh, yeah, we can do. Oh, okay, sorry, Jim. Sorry. Yeah, I think that works there. Of course, I just need to put the actual balls back on, which that ball's on the other side. That's the actual inner ball. So there's one complete gun. That fits nicely. And then the other one, I actually need to crawl underneath the table and put it on. So I will do that later because I will end up just embarrassing myself otherwise, and that would go painful. So before I put any of the base plates down, it's just a lot easier for me to slide and glide these sets about. With regards to the cheese, is the nose of the cheese going into the corner? Is that what we're thinking? No, don't you worry. The balls are there. So there's one ball, there's the other. So they are both there. They are just connected by this. So we are gunned up, ready to go. I don't actually think I can I spin that around enough to... It can be angled. Yeah, it could be. But right, there. It's on. Both little ball bits are on at the front. So that is fully, it says, it is fully complete, but I've always had problems with one of these staying on. Ah, there we go. That was a click. That was a click. Yeah, so really it can go angled or whatever. It is indeed. I've got two of them as well. So I'm trying to make use of it. So it can go at that angle, which is the angle that that's what I've just spun it round to. So that's what you're currently looking at. Or it goes back how it was, which is that way. If I can get that back leg on. There we go. Because even not on base plates, it's very difficult to move. Oh, I've just knocked my ball off. I've just hit my ball on the table leg. Oh, balls. My balls. Oh, sorry, Bumpkin. Right, back on. There you go. Yeah, back on. Yeah, you're not going to lose any space either way, I don't think. But yeah, you've got a full-blown side-on angle. Hello, I'm Guy. Hello, Guy. Yeah, the balls are saved. Balls are saved. It is on the Gringotts base. Yes, it is. It is. It is. Do we have it just like that then? Or do I twist it back? Did we like it angled or not? Did we like it like that? Or can you not really tell? Can you not really tell the difference? So every time I do it, I keep knocking the flipping front ball. Come on. I'll leave it like that for now. That's the comment of the night by Reese. Never a good thing hitting your ball on the table leg. Could you imagine? You'd have to have yourself a big set. Also, Bark Speeder. What? Why do I need it? Sealed, absolutely mint. Do we have that just randomly flying around or not? But the balls are saved at the moment. but we will be moving around to the other bits and pieces shortly. So the Enterprise might go down here, Reese. It might go down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back up. I'm going to bring you back up quickly while I make some, because I'm going to have to be stood up. So there's no point you looking at my ankles, is there? So we'll bring you back up to there. Then I will get the next. I will get the next track. So I've got two Gringotts tracks, and obviously we're trying to create like a space section. We will potentially still have room for a roller coaster on the floor in the middle. So again, that's what you can see. Turn this off because I'm gonna turn that off and charge it up as we go. These lights are so handy. So handy. Never a good thing in your balls. Oh, you can't go wrong with a good ball joke, that is for sure. It's a 10 out of 10 from my point. Right, I've got to climb back under the table, which now has all those boxes and everything in the way. So give it a minute or two, and then we'll try and we're going to have to move the Venator over, get the track in, and then basically hope for the best, I think, with regards to all that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see what it does. Just grabbing the other track now. So yeah, I've got two identical bits. I've never been able to do anything with them as such, but that is the other one in front of you now. So there we go. That is the thing. So 269. I think this is just by eyeballing it, I think it's another 15 base plates of space that we've got in total. So obviously each one of these has taken up a full base. The cheese is going to take up a full base, but of course that's not. It's 15 base plates ground level, not including the stuff that's up top. So, Brick of the World. This is interesting. Very interesting. Oh, what's Killian sourcing up now? How are you, Brick of the World? Hopefully you are okay. Yeah, the Venator is massive. Yeah, they're about a meter long, so it's really hard to display. But we have got options. But you're in the right position now for me just to. I think you can. Well, yeah. Hang on. Because I need to basically put this where you were. You can, yeah, I'm just going to put bits and pieces on that shelf. And then, so I have got the Boba Fett throw. We're base plating this, aren't we? So let's put these tan base plates down. So tan base plates, will that fit behind this? To a point. I'm not going to break the balls for no reason because there's an overhang on that. So that can be fondled with, and I'll find some 16 by 32s instead of 32 base plates to go down on that bit. But up top, just there, we have got the Boba Fett throne room, which is fine. Then we have got another little bit just there, which works fine. And then there's another part of the thing which goes there, which also fits in absolutely fine. That'll just be messed around. My problem, it's not a problem, is I don't think the cantina is going to fit in front of the sail barge, so I can't be that generous with the space on this side. So slide and glide that all the way to the edge. slide that one behind, slide that one there, and then bring the sail barge over by possibly half a base plate, I would say. Sail barge comes over by half a base plate, which is to there. Drop the flaps back down. That shows all the minifigures off, which is lovely. That then should give us enough for. Oh, I forgot about the Scarlac pit. Oh, that have to go underneath. That have to go underneath the balls. Ooh. So maybe what we can do then, because this might start writing itself, is underneath the balls would be 2 tan base plates, because that way I could put the rest of Tatooine around. So it would kind of, actually that would work quite well, because what we would have, I know it's really hard to, it's on camera, but, oh, Kai, how are we? Sorry, Kai. Hopefully Killian is cooking you, sorry, your dad is cooking you all right dinner. So what we've now done completely by mistake is we've got Star Wars to the corner, Star Wars, obviously. But then the shelf goes back underneath the city and then down the other side. So we create like a big snake all the way. And then the ground level will be where the biggest sets are. So when that all comes together visually, that should be half decent. I know. I know it's your name and all, but that wall is literally off by a stud. I know, it's awful. Everything's awful. The wall's awful. Everything's awful. It's all wrong. Kingdom says, what should I add to my Lego city? Well, it depends on obviously how you're displaying your bits and pieces, Kingdom. What's your favorite theme? And then we can break it down and go back from there. So let us know what your favorite theme is. And of course, if you guys and girls are building anything, let me know what it is. I've got the Lego website open and we can take a look on the Lego website and see. Because the balls being on sand makes sense from the Clone Wars anyway, because it lands on the sand all the time. So we could either keep it on grey, because it works on grey and it's fine, but have the actual Harry Potter base on sand, which would allow me to give the pit, because obviously I've got the pit and then 1 or 2 maybe smaller vehicles. So obviously I've got this thing that will need to be displayed. Now that's not going to fit on the shelf. So yeah, so this potentially might just be that bit and that bit. Those 2 base plates are tan, which then gives us the opposite effect. So we've got black into white, all the way across is sand, down into sand, then back across would be grey and black. So it gives us this sort of zigzag wiggle thing. This table is never going to give. So what I've just done then might not seem like much, but that really sucks. So Sean, I hope you're keeping count, but that's another point to the table. That is another point to the table. Jay's still not found the shelf clips. Yeah, what's currently in the city, Kingdom? We want to know. So let us know. But yeah, everything I do literally doesn't fit by a stud anyway. So I either build it wrong by a stud or I go put a bit in and it's not right. So yeah, it's never correct. Oh, hold on, you pulled on. You got it. Here you go. Careful. Be careful. Right, so Cantina. Do you like the Cantina? There we go. Cantina is in. Yeah, so that. Yeah, that's starting to work. I'll get you back on in a sec, but there. So you got that. I've just thrown it up on the shelf, obviously, and then underneath we've then got a figure out what's going to happen. So I will put more sand base plate underneath the sail barge, and then we can hope and pray that it will actually fit. Yeah, we should be okay. But I just need to find some more tan base plates. So there's another one. That's one. Where's the pile of them? There's another one. A cute dog. I will tell Pumpkin you've called her a dog. That's a very, very fluffy cat. Cute dog. Oh, that's made me chuckle. That made me chuckle. Right. I put them in backwards. I actually can take the base plates off. The power. Okay. I wonder if I can actually be clever. Oh, how is that a thing? Can I actually not tile these base plates and actually just put them back in? And that's our theme park path overhanging the shelf, and I can just put minifigures on it. That will work very, very nicely. He says, if I can lift the sail barge up to get it in. That's two of them. There we go. That actually could work. And I don't need it for the cantina because the cantina overhangs. I can't believe that fitted. That's fantastic. So yeah, that's just been, there's the path. So the path, I've already started the path with that, which is great. So I can just put the path straight underneath that bit and just carry on. So thank you, Kingdom. Appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Right, we need to get you guys back down so you can kind of see where we're at. So we have got the second Gringotts Bank the second track from Gringotts Bank to place. And I've literally blown my own door off. We don't want to be doing that. Get back on there. There we go. So this needs to come back up onto the table to come back down. So that's going back underneath. So let's get you back into position so you can kind of see what is going on, which will work. And then you can hope for the best. So you're coming for a little lift with me. And there we go. Don't want to sit on anything. Right, that is you. And that's where we're at. So the Venator, we're saying angled over. So yeah, because what's going to have to happen is no, Reese, no. Ninjago's might be Winter Village first, Ninjago second for me. This is why this is one of the last areas to get touched, really, because I never really have an understanding of what to do with it. But I think the actual roller coaster will fit at the front just here, which would be ideal. And to be fair, a really big one could fit here because I've got so much height from floor to ceiling. But what we're going to have to do to make these bits and pieces kind of fit is that's going to have to slide and glide down, because don't forget, like I said, this is huge, so that will have to go like there somewhere, angled, just to be able to fit the next one in, because that's how big the ship is. So to get the Enterprise in, oh dear, I can't believe over 15 base plates. We're going to be struggling just to get three sets in. Just balls. Just proves how big these things are, doesn't it? Sean, how are you getting on with your bills, by the way? I haven't heard any updates from you today, so I assume you're living the dream. Right. That will have to come probably to like there. And it would have to be, the Enterprise would have to be side on because the back of the Enterprise would hit the shelf. So if the Enterprise went on the other stand, it would suck because it would have to be, it can't face the same way forward, I don't think. I don't know actually how long is the Enterprise? Do we know? Does anybody know off the top of their head? Oh. Oh, I see. Brickford, how are we, Brickford? Now, I do believe, Brickford, you were after a certain set that I think Sean might now be selling. So you two might want to start talking about a train. I do believe if Sean is in the background, might have one on his radar. I don't know how to angle the Venator without the stand, though. Because you're gonna have to. I could put a little bit of wood under. I've got these. I could tip it by yay much and just see, and just hope. I could literally hope for the best. There's no harm in that, is there? Because if I brought this back a bit, I need two arms out. Two arms. Oh. You were caught on something. Ultra Rick said about as long as a large domestic cat. Oh dear. Well, she's run off, so I can't use her as a measurement. Ultra Bricks, I'm afraid. I can't. So I can kind of start to angle it, but I just don't know how much it can take before it's going to fall apart. I don't know if we just carry on and hope for the best or what, because that's on one bit, and I think what it's going to start doing, it's going to start flexing the foot and probably snap the plastic. So I can't really have it angled any more than what it is because it's not flush now, as you can see. Right, hang on. We've got measurements coming in. I'll get the tape measure, shall I? Right, we've got measurements for length. Measure the height of the top of the track under the table, as in 11 inches of height for the Enterprise. Well, I can tell you right now, son. Right now, you can eyeball it yourself. You can eyeball that yourself. Now, if you're telling me that you pack 11 inches, look at that. That's what you've got. So, no. It'll probably go over the shelf. But there's definitely, I don't even have to measure it. There's definitely not 11 inches of height with that. Yeah, Killian. So we measure things by monster cans, domestic cats, basically anything that's not a tape measure. So yeah, that's basically what we do. So yeah, it's how we do things. Because obviously on this, what have I got? Height wise of this shelf, height wide of the shelf, it is and just 17 inches at the max, I would say, is the height of the shelf from the floor. So depending on how much this ship angles will then depend on how much space. Obviously, it will save space and it will look like it's flying. Now the far end is absolutely fine like that. There's absolutely no drama with that end. And to be honest, there's no problem with the Enterprise this end, because the Enterprise itself could be, you could have that side on. Bottom of the table. Oh, right. Oh, this, good Lord. Oh, you're going up. Oh, look at that. I was going to say 11 inches here. So you lot talking about massive measurements. So you want to go up. You're going erect. So from there to there, give you as close a measurement as possible. I don't even need to worry. 11, it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, say 17. I've got 17 inches from the height of this to this. So height-wise, it'll fit. Yeah, so I've got 17 inches of height. So it would go that way. So basically, the front of the disc would be here. And then the engines would overhang Mario. That would be the way it could be done. Because obviously we put Mario in the other day. So we put another 15 base plates of space for Super Mario, and there'd be a go-kart track coming underneath here as well. So yes, some fruity biscuits to be happening. But then we have got things like, we've got the X-Wing, the Ghost, and all those other little bits and pieces, which at least we've achieved a thing by putting both the tracks in. So that's fine. So we're talking about the height of the... So there's a set that's got to go on this stand, and we need to know if we've got enough height from this stand to the top of this table. Because if it doesn't fit, then obviously it's going to be impossible. But as it is, it would stand on its stand while on this, flying about. Because it's taller than the Republic gunship. So yeah, so the other set's 11 inches tall. But yeah, height and width. Sorry, width and length should be absolutely fine. It's just actually the Venator and making sure we can actually get that in an angle that would work, and then that should be tasty. But yeah, we've got mess around with Tatooine up at the top, just with all the sand, and then around by the Republic gunship, it can be again. It could easily be on sand, just those two base plates, and then it comes over. We could go 2 sand, 6 grey, 2 black, or we just go all black. With regards to the colour of the base plates, I could start to put some of them down so we could actually see what the colouring looks like, because it's coming off against the blue. So we could give that a go. But to do that, again, you're going to have to go up here, out the way, safe and sound, so you don't get damaged and broked, because we don't want that to happen now. I will plug. Yeah, so there's definitely the space. There's definitely the space for the Enterprise. We've got both roller coaster tracks in, so that's fantastic. It's just that wasn't the table, that was a base plate, so that's not a point to the table. But yeah, so that's what you would see. Look, so that's where it would go. That'd be where the Enterprise would be. That's the angle that you would have, and it would go on the black base plate. and it'll be flying off at the angle. So obviously that will be spun round to fit, which will be like that to there. That's where it'll go. Yeah, I think that'll work, but I just now need to put the correct color base plates down. But before we do that, what color are we doing for the Pokemon section? Do we say we're going to go all green for that? Because I can start to take the grey up, put the green down, and then put the grey with the space, and then add in the black. That might be the better way of doing it. So I might as well just try and do it as a bit of a rotation. So let's spin you this way, so you can see where I've got my base plates. Look, I've got all my base plates piled up, ready to go. But we are going to stay at that angle for now. Let's just move the N1. We'll put, and the X-wing can pretty much be dangling off the ceiling, maybe. And again, we've still got two options, because we either add the Space Coaster or we still add the path for a walkthrough. It's either or with regards to that. Now, yeah, I've got there's some stuff on this table that I need to sort out before we carry on with the space stuff anyway. So that is all right. So we are saying, what I'm saying, I have a home for this. The home for this is going with Ninjago. So the Ninjago home is going to be behind the camera where this is going. So that is safe and sound. And that will go down. Where are you going to go? You are going to go behind the Winnie the Pooh is where you're going to go. That is where you are. And that is going to look great there. Yes. That's where that's going to go. Absolutely perfect. Happy with that. Get that moved. Okay, right. So I'm going to put this at the back of the Mario and then move it over and see if we can get it to fit with Rivendell. Possibly do that tomorrow. Tuesday we'll do that, because I don't think I won't be up here doing a live stream on Monday. We'll do one using the Lego website. Right. So green with blue for water Pokemon. Yeah, so we're now going to move over to the Pokemon bit. So I can use the grey base plates that we put down for there. But we'll just move the other little bits and pieces as we go. Things are finding homes quite quickly, which is fantastic. It's just that I know what's going to happen with this space under here, because obviously I've got no table space anymore. I've got 30 base plates of space underneath. So what I'm going to end up keep doing is exactly what I'm about to do now, and just put the sets that I don't know where they're going to go back into an area that we've just tidied. But at the same time, that's not going to be the end of the world, because this is just going to move over. It's a shame we can't do a He-Man Mario crossover, because I could just use the He-Man castle instead of Bowser's castle. Right. The T-Rex needs leg surgery. We know that. So that needs a little bit of TL3. So yeah, we're talking Pokemon now. Kai, we are talking Pokemon now. Ferris wheel in front of Ninjago. That goes back with Star Wars. That goes back with Star Wars. All right, that's much tidier, and we can we can shove those base plates in. We can't do it today. We can do it during the week. So the tracks are in. Both those roller coaster tracks are in. We just need to really work out the Venator, which is going to be the good thing. 1 hour later, I have found the clips. Goodbye. Going for dinner. Enjoy your food, Kai. Hopefully Dad's done a good job. Dad has done a good job. Right. These are some of the base plates in question. So we want some greens, which they're in a different place. I can see the greens. They're not on that pile. They're in a different pile. But I've got to move this anyway, so not the end of the world. Right. There's my Kerr. There is a chocolate biscuit. Okay, right. I've got 4 greys to take up. Yeah, all right. On the grill, I am crawling again. Right. That is where that's going to go. That looked good. Okay. Right. So we need these 4 up. They didn't last long there, did they? They did not last long there, but it is what it is. Right, that's those 4. So how many? Should I do half and half? Am I going to do like 3 blue, 3 green? And somebody remind me which side Charizard is. Which side Bulbasaur is, and obviously Venusaur as well. I think it's green on the left, blue on the right. I think. So why don't we start with that and just see how far we can go. We'll see what it looks like as a 50-50 to start with, and if it needs to be more solid, then we can do. That's something that we can do. Right. We got that one. Some black. We don't need any white for that area then, no? No. Okay. What does this look like? That is 3. I'm just getting the base plates that I need. And we want do we do that? Does it work like that? Is that a better representation, or does it need to? Do we need to chop and change it elsewhere? Because we're going to have the Ferris wheel at the back. Have all the other little bits and pieces there. At least they're in. And we've got options with adding more colours in at a later date. I'm just going to jump on to the Lego website very, very quickly, and then we can have a quick look with regards to that set. Let's have another quick look at that and just see exactly what's going on with it. So let's just get to the Lego website fast, see what this set's all about, and make sure I've actually just put the base plates on the correct side. Right, let's share that with you. Oh, it's not green. Oh. They haven't put it on green. They put it on earth. So they've put it on I've had an accident brown and dirt. But they don't do that coloured base plate, do they? Because that's like a deep soil colour. So you can't put it on sand because that wouldn't look right. Oh, bugger. I don't know where I have got that. I am looking, I think, at the exact same colour in tile, but I am not tiling the whole base plate that it's going to be sat on. Oh, smeg. Right, let's check out who is doing what in the... what's going on in the poll. So 20 votes in for the poll, 70% for building, 10% for spaceships, 20% for the train, 0%. Nobody likes any of the cars. So as that is registering with what I can think of doing, have they added anything else onto the Lego website today? Oh. Still coming soon. So the orange, we know the orange cat's up there. There's nothing else. Some bits and pieces have chopped and changed and moved around, but there's nothing new, I don't think. Everything else is just available for pre-order. Nothing else. Zelda. There's Pokemon. Yes, so what we've got, Ultrabricks, is, let me show you. Yeah, because you popped on the last one. So we couldn't get the space to work on this side. So this side, this bit here, that's going to be Pokemon. Okay, so we've got 10 base plates to make a Pokemon display. That's easy enough. So there's 10 base plates for Pokemon. We have then got, as just a medieval, not Lord of the Rings, but for a medieval display, we have got 3. How many is there? 3, 6, 9. Need 20. So for it, we've got a 20 base plate display for medieval, if we want it. And then underneath this table is where the Lord of the Rings stuff is going to go, which again is going to be another handful of base plates. So as it stands, we've got 10 base plates for Pokemon for something. We got 15 base plates for Mario. Obviously, it can be shrunk or extended, which, to be fair, the Mario course might have to be shrunk to just give me a little bit more room for Rivendell. So that's fine. Then we've got the Star Wars stuff, which again is 3, 6, 9. That's about 12 base plates. So yeah, we got all the lands basically covered, which is okay. 3, 2, 1. How are we? How is life? Have you built? How's your cheese? Sorry, your cheese. Your slice. How is their slice getting on? Jay is very happy. He's found his clips as well, by the way. So this table beside me, this top bit is the next bit to spread out, get the correct color base plates down, because I can't start the Mario, putting the Mario track in until I know that the Rivendell and the Shire would fit underneath this table, and hopefully the D&D as well. So I think we might have been a bit ambitious when we first started to do the Mario and just said it was 5, all that space. We can just, it doesn't matter because we can just shrink it down. We can still, the Bowser's finished, so we can keep Bowser there, and we can just put the track going around the Bowser, still in that same color pattern. So we've got the green, the sand, and the blue. But worst case is the Mario and Luigi just goes back up on the top shelf for now. Fair enough. So you are going to be doing those bits then. Oh, well, if you need anything else added to your inventory, just let us know, because I'm sure I'll have odd sets that aren't doing anything, which are still sealed. So if there's anything that you wanted to for parts usage, then just let me know, 3, 2, 1. So I'm sure there'll be stuff that I'll be coming across now and in odd boxes of just stuff for parts. And they'll all be sealed and mint and new and all that kind of nonsense. So at least doing the parts, if the boxes are knackered, you don't have to worry as much, do you? Because you can then just sell the part elements slightly differently. So that's good. So on bag 32, also added my loose bricks to 250 lots, stack up 1,000 pieces. Fair play to you. Yeah, it's always good to have good amount of parts as well, because you'll be amazed, I think, by how quickly they'll start to sell, which is always really, really, really good. So no, that's good. That's good. There'll be certain parts that'll be much more popular than others. Yeah, I'm sure between us all, we could help you with parts inventory. I'm sure if you needed to sort of get everything going without having to purposely buy stuff to break down. Just looking at the back, nothing else has been added. Apparently there's a cute hamster with a flower. I don't remember seeing that. It's a cute hamster. Look at that. Isn't that a cute hamster? Update for you. Is it this you wanted? Yeah. So Star Wars is placed to a point. I've moved the base plates over for Pokemon. The medieval section will start on Tuesday. So what we'll do on Tuesday is just work out exactly how many base plates of space there are for free. Then work out all the other little bits and pieces. But as I do that, I've got to put Rivendell underneath the floor. Put Rivendell on the floor, move it into the Mario ever so slightly, because I think it's going to need more than what is there. So yeah, we'll figure all that out, because of basically the table is underneath where the Mario track is. So for me to do it, I need to come over by a little bit. But the problem is with the Pokemon set, it's not green, it's earth. Kai is back. Welcome back, Kai. And I don't think you can get that color base plate, because I've had an accident brown base plate, isn't it? So Pokemon. It's not actually green. they have, for whatever reason, done a proper. They've done more of a foresty kind of proper earth and soil, haven't they? So I have got the exact. I think I'm looking at that now. I think I've got the exact same. I think. Oh no, it's a little bit too bright. I got a tub, but it's too bright. Because if you get the colour wrong, it's just going to look like runny diarrhea, which isn't fun. Ah, how are we? 70736. Let's have a look. See 70736. What is that all about? 70736. What have you got? Ah, very nice. Yeah. So all of these are very expensive because it's this whole theme, this series, is all your glow in the dark characters, isn't it? So you've got like all these got translucent heads, translucent legs, and they're glow in the dark pieces. So yeah, it does look very, very smart, but I think it's very, very, very pricey. You can see how amazing the leg prints are. I just don't know how fragile they are and if they crack, because a lot of them, we were doing the research on this, and a lot of the minifigures that are for sale all had hairline cracks in the legs. So you just got to be just careful with that. So Jay's Willie's been shaped. I don't know. I don't know what reference we're talking to for that. I'm not too sure, Killian or Kai. You haven't missed too much. I've just put some base plates down. Oh, shipped. I thought it said shaped. Willy Wonka. I understand. Yeah, the glow in the dark is spooky element. So yeah, it does look really good. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it does look very, very smart indeed. So yes, there is opportunities now for different displays that we've got. We've got the expansion for Ninjago, which is quite a big expansion anyway. We've got every elemental color covered with regards to the original core team. We've got a load of water. We've got the earth. We've got water. Sorry, start again. We've got fire, ice. We've got water, earth, and then lightning still the same color. So that's all right. We don't really care about Jay too much. It's all right. Yeah, there's some very expensive Ninjago minifigures if you wanted to get any of those. So I think what we have answered is I'm not going to be getting the Spaceman version of this, so I don't need to work out the spacing for that. So that's fine. So we don't have to worry about that too much. Yeah, so it's going to be Ferris wheel at the back with Pokemon sets moving forward. Then on Tuesday, we'll work out exactly the space that we have for what sets we could get for medieval stuff, which would obviously involve a Lion Knight's Castle along with other bits and pieces. The table is we still left the table empty for that, so that's okay. But yeah, what I wanted to try and achieve is where these two tracks and things were going to be going, and yeah, there's a lot of bits and pieces to tidy up underneath that section of the table. So, well, we don't know if the Space Coaster is now going to fit. This is the thing. So if the Space Coaster is going down here, I don't think it will fit, Jay, because it takes up it's 4 base plates. It's like it's one and then it steps to the other side. So with how that is at the moment, that's a 3 deep base plate display, but the Venator is going to come forward. So the track's going to hit the Venator. So I don't personally think that the actual Space Coaster now is going to fit. Because you can see just down on that bit there. I can't be bothered to move the laptop, but that wing. It's still angled ever so slightly. So even if that went up to the top of that shelf, the Venator, honestly, it's so wide. Let me get that off because I'm worried that I'm going to snap the plastic on its leg. So let me go deep diving into this. There we go. It's back down. So yeah, that is 2 base plates without a shadow of a doubt wide, as it is. And I've got 3 base plates. But the Space Coaster is a right royal pain in the backside. So we can do something with the Space Coaster because we can obviously do the drop tower and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's going to have to be rejigged a little bit. When the Venator's on the stand, it's just over a base plate deep. Yeah, so it still won't fit then. Because that Space Coaster does that. So you've got a bit there and a bit here. Right, back from dinner. Reese, welcome back. I think everybody popped off the food at the same time. So we have put in base plates down for Pokemon. That'll just be left. We know what we're going to be doing with the back. That's done. I just need to. Yeah, the Venator's monstrous, but there is the stand that it can go on. So that's the Venator. Oh God, damn! I'm going to unplug you again. So that is the Venator down there. It is silly, but how it is between the tracks, you also are going to struggle for space between the two Harry Potter tracks as well, because that flipping space, it's such an awkward shape. So I would say we'll try and come up with a display without the actual Space Coaster, because we've got the 2 roller coaster tracks already in there from Harry Potter. And then if we can actually make it fit, then we will, because I genuinely just know that I'm going to put that together and it's just not going to work, because I started to do it yesterday and it was over 4 base plates. So it's completely wrong what it's saying on the Lego website. It's a figure of 8 stepped. Could get your wood out. Could get my wood out. What wood? What wood? I tucked it into my waistband. You can't see it now. It's fine. You have to squint anyway, so it's not too much of a problem. Oh, what? Take the shelf out? What you want to take you want to take the shelf off? I'm starting to dribble now. So because if the Venator fitted on the stand at the angle anyway, it's still not going to make a difference for the roller coaster track, because the track's just not going to fit. I could put the wood up. I could stand it. But if I started to stand it, I still don't think, because the track's still going to hit the bits underneath. Because it's 3 base plates deep and it steps over by 2 at a figure of 8. But because it's also quite wide, I'm going to have to miss that bit of the track and come over. I've got to miss the table leg, so it's going to have to be pushed backwards. I could literally lift it. I could do a dirty dancing. That's what you're asking me to do, yeah? So you're asking me to do a dirty dancing, lift them up like so, on the bits of wood. Well, we did say about hanging the Venator on the roof, but that's now somehow just been swapped to putting it on a stand underneath here. So you guys and girls keep changing your minds so quickly. That's why I'm like, that bit's done. We can't do that bit. We've got ideas for this, and yeah, then we go. But yes, that's my natural straight. To be fair, I just need a bib most of the time. 3, 2, 1. But now I can raise it up. If I raised it up, that then causes another problem, because I'm going to have to move it away from the roller coaster track. Whereas at the moment, if it started to get higher and higher and higher, it's going to hit the base plate at the top, because of how the leg and all that kind of stuff is. The wing at the moment is overstepping the base of the thing. So as it starts to come up, it's going to have to get shunted. But long story short, it is doable. So it can be raised up. It could be raised up to It could be raised up so the tip of the red bits is in line with the shelf because the back wing would still be miles away. Because again, it's deceivingly tall, this Venator as well. Like, well, we could put the new one up there, Jay. That's the thing. We could put the Superstar Destroyer up here and have more of a cloney Tatooine type thing underneath. I do have the upside down house, which is hiding just between the Adventure Town and the Daily Beagle at the moment. And there's still places where that could go, so that's not too much of a problem. So yeah, so we got options really. We could hang it on the roof, but I think this Superstar Destroyer would probably look nicer on the roof. He says if it's as sturdy, because you'd have the Superstar Destroyer close to the Death Star, wouldn't you? Even I know that. Whereas that thing with the 88, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know which way to go. But yes, it can be raised up on the wood. Now, if it got raised up, oh, good point. Yeah, it depends. You mean the upside down house, the Creel house? I've got the original upside down house, Kai. If the Venator got raised up, I could potentially build the track around the wood, and then actually have the track in the very, very back corner, and it would fit. But it's not the space roller coaster track is not going to fit at the front of the display anymore. It's just not gonna. It's not going to fit down here. Down there, look, it is not going to fit just there because there's just. God damn it! I've got to be a contortionist for this. Right. So, where are you? You're there. Where's my leg? Right. So that's how wide that thing is. But behind this, there's a base plate. So, but if we behind this thing that way to the back of the wall, there is a base plate of space. So we could go from the very, very, very back corner as a figure of 8 and bring it to basically underneath the engines. That would work. But here, there's clearly just not enough space because there's less than a base plate at the most. And then it's just a swine because the actual track is awkward and the Venator is an awkward shape. But it could be, yes. So, all right, fine. So we're going to put the Superstar Destroyer on the roof. Brilliant. Okay, there we go. That's all. That's it. That's decided. That is what's going to happen. Because that Superstar Destroyer is, well, it's a cheese. So we need a cheese. That's that kind of thing. Yeah, I've got the upside down house. Yeah, I've got the upside down. I would have to basically cut a load more wood to get the height that is needed. I haven't got enough because don't forget the other thing which doesn't work. Oh, we got two options, haven't we? We've got the outer edge for the Enterprise and the balls, but we could put the Venator on both of those. But then you've got the problem of what do you do with the other two? So could you raise the outer two up and put the Venator back on the double track? So you'd have it in the middle and the two high raised up on the outer edge, or vice versa. So we have actually got options now if we're going to be raising up the Venator as well and not putting on its actual stand. But the Venator itself, yes, it could. But if that happened, it would take up all the space because it would be at the front. So it could be raised on stilts to a certain point. I could either get a load of old DVD cases and just try and raise it up high and then just block it off. You wouldn't even know it's on cases, would you? You just see the black outer edge. Did that? I don't know if the track, that might be too big. I don't know if I could fit the track. Definitely the curve of the track would fit around the wood. So that is an option. So yeah, we'll carry on, because all of this is all going to sort of snowball into each other, because when the Rivendell and the Lord of the Rings goes back on the floor underneath this table, we can then give the Mario exactly what it needs, and then we can just keep going round, put the rest of the base plates down, and as the rest of the base plates come down for Star Wars, and obviously the everything else, that can be raised up. Then we can build the space coaster if it will fit, and then we can go from that way. Reset, is there any way of hanging the Venator from under there, from the shelf or above? Well, to be fair, it's... The annoying thing is that yes, but at the same time, you can't if you wanted the Harry Potter tracks there, because the Venator would have to come so far forward. The Venator would have to go, because this is solid. All of this is solid, so that's fine. But if this came forward and got raised up, you wouldn't be able to put the ships on this one and the other one. So it kind of has to be at the back and raised, not hung, which is really weird, but it has to be done that way. Rivendell's going down on the floor, Ultra Bricks. For a medieval display, we've got no choice. So Rivendell goes underneath the table, all lit up. So Rivendell Shire D&D goes down, and then the Mountain Fortress, Lion Knight's Castle, the Duskkeep, and the Forest Stronghold all come up on the top of the table. So it's one or the other. I can't have Rivendell on the floor, hey baby Jesus cry. Well, I'm afraid it can only, it's got, we have literally limited it now to two places, where it is or on the floor. And I didn't start moving all of this. We could have put Rivendell just here, by the way, but nobody suggested it at the time, did they? And I warned everybody at the time, we're going to get to the very end of this project, or well into this project, and go, oh, there's this one set. Breakfast, like just make an loft extension. But no, we've got the space. We just don't have the roof height. You tell me. Exactly that. Where's the Orient Express going? Because all of you took my expansion. All of this was expansion for medieval and my track, because I physically had train track in front of the gardens, which you can see, by the way, has been added in at the back now, and it looks it looks fantastic over there. So yeah, it looks fantastic. It is. That's why it's going on the floor. Because I would quite happily get rid of Rivendell, the Shire, and not have a problem with that. But it still needs a home before all that happens, and it could just go back underneath the table, and we can make a nice display with it, because that's where it was before. I made a nice display up with it all, and then there's actually still be room for expansion underneath with that theming if required. But it's nothing really to be added to it, is there? So it's just be a couple of trees and all that kind of thing. But now, as it stands, you've got Ninjago all the way around up into that bit. That bit is the Pokemon. That bit's your dinosaurs. The giveaway purchase, I still can't believe, fits in that gap, which is great. So that bit over there, look, over the tail. So it's kind of hidden in the corner, but then when you walk around the room, you can see it through the gates. And then you've got all of those bits, and you get a real nice angle when it starts to come up. And you can see the Venator now, because it's all starting to be tidied up there. So that's the stuff that's on the floor. But yeah, that's the aerial view for this corner just here. And then that's the aerial view from this corner. And you can see how much more messy it is now, because there's no breathing space for it. So the train was all going to be wrapping around, and it was all going to be going in, and there was all this really nice designs for it. And nobody mentioned this side of the table when we're doing everything. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, what are we going to do with all this? I don't know where this is going to go. So we can have medieval up top, Lord of the Rings display underneath, and then the Lord of the Rings would go right beside Mario, and it would be right beside Star Wars. It'd be those three, with some nice lighting underneath, and it would all be there tickety boo. So that's where it can go. Sean says, "I'll give Rivendell a forever home. If you get rid of it, I want to donate it to the Black Sheep Foundation." Oh, Sean, I know. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking thing, but yeah, it could well be going. I haven't said anything. I said the medieval can go underneath. I have said multiple times that there's this table was free when we started this project. Oh yeah, we've got this because we've now gone into this expansion area, and no, we haven't done it. We've not mentioned it. We've put the eyeball in. I've moved the eyeball. I've done the haunted house. So Jay says, I had an idea for that table and train, but then you all wanted more. Well, what is the idea, Jay? What idea do you want there? If you're going to say Willy Wonka, it is 15 base plates is what we've got there. 15 base plates. So on my right, I am looking at Rivendell, D&D, The Train, Shire, Market, Burrow, Mountain Fortress from Series 1. Well, that's what it is, Ultra Bricks, isn't it? You've literally just said what it is. Look, see? D&D, Rivendell, Castle, Shire. That's exactly what it is. So, time to pivot to a fantasy theme and combine Rivendell, D&D, and medieval. That is exactly what the display already is. That was the point of this display. It was all going to be that kind of thing with this train track going through to tell the story of it. So yeah, that was the point. That was the point of it. And then now we are where we are. So you guys and girls have to come up with some ideas. You're gonna have to come up with something. So you say you did my idea before I did this idea at Christmas. I did it over Christmas. So yes, because I got the train, look, and between Christmas and New Year, there it is. Look, there's all of those bits. The track was going to go through. That's all of those bits. And it was all in. And then my expansion was all the way around. I am not moving the Winter Village. No, because the Winter Village was there. The Winter Village is safe and sound just over on that bit, and that amount of Winter Village stuff will not fit on this table. So it can't go there. It's a great idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but it's not going to work. So I have just shat all over that. But the snow level, medieval snow castle, where it is, yep. Full Orient Express track around the outside, makes sense. With a snow winter village and the hot chocolate set on there. As you know, that's my favorite. It is, but I have got all of that there apart from the actual train track. So let me just repeat this. So all of this is the fantasy section, and it's been there since Christmas. And when you all started to put the Marvel section as a backdrop, the train track was already placed for expansion. Yeah, it was a fantastic display. But now I have actually now got too many sets. I've got more, so it won't fit in there. Because I've got extra trains, I've got all the other little bits and pieces, and no, it won't. It's a shame, really, but it works. I can see it all the time there, and I've got a permanent Winter Village display in 4 Kallax cubes, and there's room to expand in front of the shadow box. So yeah, it was one of my favorite things to look at, but now I can sit here and build and look at it all the time. Whereas to my right hand side, I never see any of that stuff because I never turn my head that way. So Yeah, that display over there, you got all the 4 cubes. It's all in. It's all done. It's the first thing I did. I did that day after Boxing Day, and then did the fantasy loan. So the fantasy section is done then. So leave it. Saves buying anything else in the Rivendell stays for Jesus. Oh God. Oh, I tell you what, you lot are a nightmare. Killian has finally taken the phone back from the Kai. So welcome back, Killian. So all right, fine. So what you're saying is that we just keep it as it is and we don't expand anything. No more castles, no nothing. That's it. That's what you're saying, yeah. That's what I need to know. That's all I need to know. And if that's the case, then I have got I've got top and bottom table for nothing at the moment. Sean's like, so what's going to happen with the Lion Knights castle? Well, I'm just sitting here reading the comments going, okay. Don't forget, though, 2 days ago, the space section was going here. And then within 3 hours, it's now full-blown Pokemon. So these things do have a tendency to change quite quickly. We need more castles. Haven't discussed knocking a wall through yet. Well, yeah, this is very true. This is very, very true. You must have it. It's your destiny. It's my destiny. Yeah, the top. We've got. There's nothing on the top at the moment, and there's nothing at the bottom. But the top's already taken for Ninjago. Yeah. So the only thing that would work is that top table gets expanded for fantasy. It's on a double level fantasy land, and then the other Ninjago sets go underneath. And then you've got the Ninjago backdrop when you're looking at Mario. That's the only way it could work. If you guys didn't think you wanted to split up Medieval and Rivendell, it has to expand to the table that is directly behind you. And then I can basically manipulate and move the Ninjago bits and pieces around. Well, to be honest, the table that I'm on, I would actually like, because like if you think like that table that's in the middle of the room, just there, that would make a really nice divide for a completely different display look. But yeah, that's that seat at the moment. That's the whole fantasy medieval bit, and then there's another table where that light is of nothing on, and then it goes into Ninjago. So I could literally carry Ninjago down and have more Ninjago underneath. Well, that was actually tried, Brickford, originally. That was originally tried, but the problem is I then couldn't walk around the outside. Oh, Jay is sore. That's all we can say. Jay is extremely sore. That's gonna hurt and sting, Jay. Yeah. So, but Baron Door now is looking tidy because obviously now I look at that. So we've got multiple angles for multiple rooms. Look. So, and obviously the Disney Castle isn't staying there. That's gonna go. But yeah, at the moment, the very, very far where the tree house and the cranes and things are, there's nothing on that. So that could carry on into water and just be my temples instead, as long as I've got the ceiling height. If not, it goes. So yeah, probably the Ninjago City. If it was the Winter Village, it would have to be the Winter Chalet. So it'd be those two. What, the Disney Castle on the chopping block? Are we talking about this? That thing. So this thing and those two, they all need to be rehomed. Oh, battle. No, that's definitely deep penetration for you then. So it's battle damage for that. Penetration for you. Rough. Everybody just like the video. Thank you very much indeed. With 21 votes into this, by the way, 71% for building, 10% for spaceships, 19% for train, and 0% for cars. Now, of course, just throwing it out there, we could put the medieval section, because it'd be more room, where we've just put Mario, and extend it even more underneath the table. So we've got a huge display, and then it wraps around. So there's 15 base plates of space. It'll be a higher display, and it could all be lit from the top down, and it could go 15. It'd be like probably it'd be 23 base plate display on the same level, and then the Super Mario just comes up. Jay's literally spent a mortgage. He got carried away and forgets that there's bills of other stuff that he already ordered months ago. And you've got the Bricklink stuff coming in the next week. So that's two more. that's two more Lego sets to add to the debacle. So if we're not splitting up medieval, I mean, let's be honest, right? None of you paid any attention to what was on this table anyway. But all of you have just realized that that's what it is. And you didn't even realize I had that castle. So it shouldn't really make a difference if it's up top or underneath. But if it goes underneath, it would all be on the same level and it could be expanded quite a lot. It is, yeah, that's what the live stream's all about tomorrow, Ultra Bricks. We're going to be doing a deep, deep dive into that because Jay might be thinking, oh, good Lord, there's about 400 different sets that will go into his collection. And then the countdown will be nervous on until we get the final 6. So no, tomorrow will be fun. Tomorrow evening will be a fun live stream because I'll get back in later, so I won't be able to do the bits and pieces up in here. And then we'll kick things off about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then we'll just have a bit of fun with everything. Sean says I see everything. Well, how you're not blind? How it's not burnt your retinas of the actual filth. So yeah, okay. So it's food for thought. You guys and girls think about it and let me know, because if we dropped this down, we could have a huge train track going through the fantasy section. He's probably to the shoulder. He's probably to the shoulder deep. Right. So Jay said leave it because the castle would be against a metal flake wall instead, wouldn't it? Be against a pink wall. So yeah. But that's it. It can't be expanded because we moved all the stuff behind. So squat and drop. Absolutely. Squat and drop it. So Sean says squat and drop it to the floor for extra expansion. Just looking around going, flop it like it's hot. Yeah, because everything else at the moment, it's we've got a free bit for Ninjago up that way. That was going to be the temple bit for Ninjago that way. And then, yeah, we've got we've got stuff that we can do. Well, there it is. There it is. So Jay is now in pain thinking of the bill that he's going to be paying. I am going to end the stream shortly. So let's end this now. So 71% is the, well, I say it's a winner. It's your 71% is your opinion for what is the best type. So that is the winner. So the winner is 71% for buildings, 19% for train, 10% for spaceships, and 0% for cars. Yeah, I have to have a good think and figure out what I'm now going to do up here on Tuesday. Because I think this configuration probably needs to move about anyway, so I might pull it out and put it back in and just keep the castle where it is. Because the one option was if you went all medieval, you had all different kind of base plates down and it matched up with all the other bits and pieces. If there's going to be no expansion and not worry about anything, then the Dustkeep castle now isn't a thing. So that can just be binned off and not thought about and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll have to have a think, and just have to figure out what we're going to do on the Tuesday, because Tuesday I could try and get the Venator raised up. We can get the base plates down for the Star Wars stuff, so that's fine. But until we know what's going to go underneath this table and we know just where it needs to go, I will have to wiggle the Mario ever so slightly. Right, so I will catch up with everybody tomorrow evening for the Bricklink thing. If for whatever reason I get bored and I start talking to myself again, it'll be in about an hour's time, but I don't think it will be. So we'll kick things off again tomorrow, I think, with the Bricklink stuff, because there's going to be a lot of stuff to look at. So that's going to take ages to get through. So yeah, Bricklink tomorrow. And then later on in the week, DJI, we will be taking a look at those ninja sets. So do not worry. Right, guys, take care, everybody. And I will... Oh, so tomorrow night, it's all the new Bricklink stuff. So we don't know what it is yet, DJI. It'd be brand new sets that we can vote for that gets put into production. And then it goes to the Bricklink Designer Program. So we don't know. So this is the cool thing. So we'll look at all of that tomorrow. So it should be good fun. Brickford, goodbye to you. DJI, goodbye to you. Ultra Bricks, goodbye to you. Sean, goodbye to you. Jay and his toys collection is still very, very stinging ringing, but goodbye to you. Reese, goodbye to you. Who else is up there? Killian, if you're about, goodbye. And goodbye to everybody else that I can't see. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. All right, take care all. Take it easy, everybody. Bye, bye.